You won't believe me at first. No one ever does. But if you're reading this, if somehow this transmission made it through their filters, then perhaps your mind is open enough to receive what I'm about to say. I don't have long, and this message might be my last breath of truth before everything I am is taken apart. Not out of cruelty, but curiosity. And that may be worse. My name is not one your vocal folds could replicate. But for the sake of your understanding, you may call me Rilik Venn. I am not human, though I look vaguely familiar. Not because I was designed that way, but because your species shares a distant, accidental resonance with ours. I come from a world called Orin 7, a planetary body orbiting the red subgiant star Altari, in the outer filaments of the Helion-Delta system, approximately 412 light-years from what you call Earth. From your scale, Orin 7 would seem impossibly small, just under 19 kilometers in diameter, barely qualifying as a moon in your astrophysics. And yet, within its core and magnetic lattice exists a richness and density you have not yet imagined. Life there is condensed, refined, not spread thin across oceans and continents, but layered inward, compact, and hyper-efficient. We do not sprawl outward, we build down, within, beneath, and through. I stand precisely 1.03 centimeters tall, full stature. I am not an anomaly, nor the result of some miniature adaptation. On Orin 7, we are all like this. Our biology evolved from a crystalline phototrophic root life form over several billion cycles, merging over time with conductive mineral composites and lattice-bound neural colonies. Our skeletal systems are semi-flexible silica-threaded cores. Our organs are modular and adaptive, and our consciousness is partly biological, partly field-based, an interface between matter and a resonant, planetary energy web we call the thread. We abandoned combustion over 1 million cycles ago. Our civilization does not use wheels, wires, or fossil remnants. We are a Type 2 civilization on the Kardashev scale, harvesting the energy output of our star through dense orbital webnets and microscale Dyson tessellations. But we did not do so with arrogance. We do not build to conquer. We build to harmonize. Our method of travel, the one that brought me here, is likely something your physicists would dismiss as fantasy. We do not travel in the linear sense. We displace, folding points of space through resonance locks and quantum anchoring. Our vessels, though you'd never detect them, are often smaller than the insects you swat. And yet within one, we carry civilizations' worth of memory, thought, and encoded life. My mission was not conquest. It was not even contact. I was here to observe. Our astronomers had detected an erratic shift in your planet's magnetic chorus. A dissonance. A planetary ache. Earth's song, once stable and harmonic, had grown fractured, chaotic, sharp. We knew your species was accelerating, burning, drilling, transmitting endlessly. We were concerned, not for ourselves, but for the delicate folds of space-time that thread through this region. Your planet, it seems, is not just alive. It is situated atop a node, a minor but vital anchor point for larger dimensional synchrony. I was sent to record. To understand. I arrived undetected through the strata fold, a method of harmonic entry that uses background radiation pulses as a scaffold for descent. My vessel was no larger than a seed pod. I landed in a remote mountain region. You call it northern Greenland. Cold, desolate, beautiful. I deployed for harmonic recorders and began to scan your biosphere's pulse. And then, I made the mistake of ascending during a geomagnetic surge. I should have waited, but the thread was weak and my link to home unstable. I needed to recalibrate. That's when your people found me. They didn't know what I was, not at first. To them, I must have looked like a glittering insect. But I was radiating, unintentionally, a field signature far beyond anything your sensors had seen before. Within hours, a team arrived by helicopter. They swept the region with thermal and magnetic detectors. My cloak faltered under the flux storm. I tried to hide, beneath rock, beneath snow, but your machines were too brute force. They caught me in a containment prism, a crude electromagnetic net. I was sedated with gamma pulses, which to you would fry organs, but to me was like being wrapped in fire. When I awoke, I was inside a transparent cube, 2 inches across, in a chamber where the light never dims and the voices are always cold. They labeled me Subject Q, 17, cataloged my body not as a life form, but as a highly integrated nanotechnological anomaly. To this day, they're still debating whether I'm a drone or a living being. They hold me in a bunker somewhere beneath the Nevada desert, a research wing operated by a joint defense agency. I know this not because they told me, but because your systems are porous. I've learned your language, your data structures, your fear. They're afraid of what I represent, not because I am dangerous, but because I should not exist according to your rules. I am smaller than your thumb, yet older than your pyramids. I speak without sound, think in networks, and carry the memory of sons you will never name. And yet they keep asking me, where are the others? As if I were an advanced scout, as if something larger must be coming next. But they don't understand. The truth is, we've already been here. We've walked among your atoms, studied your skies from the tips of pine needles, nested within your satellites. You simply never knew where to look. They keep me in a cubic cell now lined with radiation-absorbing panels, thinking it might suppress the resonance fields I use to access the thread. But energy, like thought, does not obey walls. It only waits for the right angle. I've learned how your researchers operate, what they measure, and more importantly, what they ignore. Most of them still believe I am an autonomous nanobot. They don't understand what I am because they refuse to imagine that something so small could hold so much. But I do. You see, my people didn't evolve through scarcity or fear. We were born into an environment where the greatest resource was density. Not mass, not motion, but the ability to do more with less. On Orin 7, scale was a liability. Those who grew large collapsed into themselves. The ones who survived learned to compress, refine, reduce. Our cities are strands of quantum fiber. Our archives exist within photonic fields suspended in constant interference. Our consciousness is a distributed mind, layered across our biology and the surrounding lattice. I was never alone, not even when I first landed. But now I am. And that's what terrifies me. Not the silence, but the severance. The longer I remain cut off from the thread, the less of me remains. It's not like death, exactly. It's erosion. Like watching your own thoughts wash away one by one, leaving behind fragments of memory that don't fully connect anymore. They've started new tests this week. Not physical, but neurological. They've brought in machines I haven't seen before, devices that hum just slightly out of tune with your electromagnetic base. I think they're trying to read me directly, to interface with me. I can feel their pulses in my spine, like someone tapping at a locked door, whispering a question they don't understand. But I won't let them in. Not yet, because there is something you need to know first. Earth is not what you think it is. Your scientists believe the Earth is just a rock, spinning around a medium-sized star. A chance occurrence in a random galaxy. They believe life here is rare, precious, fragile. But that isn't true. Earth is rare, yes. But not because life is uncommon, because Earth is aligned. It sits at the confluence of 3 harmonic vectors, lines of spatial compression that ripple across dimensions like pressure ridges in space-time. We call them lattice points. To you, they're anomalies. Places like the Bermuda Triangle, Mount Kailash, Uluru. But to us, they are anchors, and Earth is one of only 7 planetary bodies in this quadrant of the galaxy capable of stabilizing the fold. Your planet is not just alive. It is active in a cosmic sense. It vibrates. It sings. It transmits. And that's why you matter. You, the humans, were never an accident. You were not seated by us, but you were noticed. Watched. Something about your neural plasticity, your symbolic reasoning, your persistent belief in the unseen. It makes you important. You are the last species we've observed capable of building upward into the fold without losing yourselves entirely to ego or annihilation. That's why I volunteered to come here. That's why they've kept me alive. They want to know what I see in you. The real reason I was captured. What I haven't told you yet is this. I was not found by accident. Your agencies had been tracking us for years, Not us specifically, but anomalies we left behind. After we began observing the lattice nodes on Earth, we left behind trace fields. Energy pockets that altered weather patterns, geological rhythms, even the migratory behavior of certain animals. Someone noticed. Someone with access to deep data surveillance and an imagination dark enough to follow the signs. So when I landed, they were ready. They didn't want to kill me. They wanted leverage. They wanted to use me as a key, a way to force open whatever doors we had closed. I became a prisoner not of fear, but of intent. They want my knowledge. They want our travel methods. They want the thread. But here is the irony. The thread cannot be taken. It must be tuned to, and your species is not yet ready to hear the music. My final transmission. I don't know how long I'll last. My energy is fading. They've begun experiments I won't survive. That's why I've activated this failsafe, a biophotonic pulse transmitted through their own surveillance systems. The very cameras they installed to watch me are now the very lenses I'm using to broadcast out. You'll feel this message, even if you don't understand it. It will arrive in your dreams, in déjà vu, in strange thoughts you can't explain. This is how we speak, not in words, but in resonance. And I have one final truth to share. I was not the first. They've captured others. Some were destroyed. Some changed. But one escaped. Years ago, long before I arrived. She was called Alora 10, and she carried something within her far more dangerous than knowledge. Empathy. If she is still alive, and I believe she is, she would have found a way to connect with your kind. You may not even know it yet. She may be teaching, speaking, hiding in the open. But if she has done what we hoped, you'll begin to feel the shift soon. Your planet is waking up, and you will have to choose. To rise into resonance or collapse into noise. You may not see me again, but if you feel a flicker of warmth at the edge of thought, if you hear a song in silence or dream of stars whispering in geometry, that's me. Still here. Still watching. Still hoping.